How is the stage set for this economy into November, and what does it mean for voters at the moment?
Yeah, a lot of things to unpack there. Obviously, the economic picture is one of an aggregate of different indicators, right? So if you look at things like inflation, we're expecting more disinflation throughout the remainder of this year. If we look at things like consumption, the overall sentiment is not great. We're a little bit higher off of the low lows, but we don't think that really translates to spending intentions. We still see relatively robust consumption this year, around 2%. We just revised that up from 1.7%. You know, the labor market's still relatively sideways. So all of that paints sort of a decent picture for the economy. We call it a benign macro backdrop. That's not the only thing that matters to voters. Obviously, affordability a top concern. But aside from that, we see prediction markets, we see polling, we see the presidential approval rating, all signaling a more favorable environment for Democrats come November.
I remember thinking that Biden would get battered in the midterms into that November a few years ago, and it didn't happen the way people thought it would. What's the lesson from then, and how might it apply to this situation?
So 2022 was actually really similar to this midterm election. If you think about it, we had an energy shock in February of that year, right? And then the structural, the map, the Senate was really what was important in that election. There were some anomalies. Remember, we had the Roe v. Wade decision leaked, which energized turnout among specifically women and college-educated voters. So I think that is what allowed the Democrats to maintain the edge. But back to the structural sort of dynamics here, the map is really important. And with this progressive win we saw in Michigan last night, that makes it really challenging as a general election seat for Democrats to flip, right? And that's going to be kind of the key point between Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia races for November.